this drone only costs $100. So why does it claim to do all of the things that a drone 5 times its price can do? Well, in today's video, we're gonna be testing out the Ameta S20 Lite to see if it actually can hold up to everything that it claims it can do, or is this just another cheap drone from online that has nice packaging? See, it looks pretty legit. Uh-oh, it's starting the review without me. Inside the case, it's pretty simple. You're gonna have extra propeller wings, you're gonna have the drone itself, 2 batteries, and then this is the controller that goes on your phone. The setup for this drone is super easy. On the drone side of things, you're just gonna pop the battery in right here, and then you'll extend all 4 of its propellers. You're gonna wanna get 3 AAA batteries, they go right back in here. And then to turn this into a controller, you're just gonna flip these out, and then flip this up. Your phone is gonna go right here. No need to connect this via a cord, it's all gonna connect via Wi-Fi. Next, you're gonna wanna download the app, which looks like this. And now you're ready to turn this on and the drone. Now, pairing could not be easier, it's gonna automatically connect. Just hold it for a second, then you're gonna hear it beeping, and then you're gonna turn this one on. It has the loudest turn on sound.
You're playing too loud!
After that, you're gonna set your drone on a flat surface. This seems pretty good. You're not gonna want any grass or anything to get chopped up in the blades when it's trying to turn on, because that might mess it up. And now, as you can see on my phone, I can see what that camera sees. We're just gonna press this little button to the left, and then we're gonna slide to confirm, and it's gonna lift off. And voila! It's that easy. Let's go test it out. After testing the drone out for a bit in an open field near my house, I decided to take it to Zilker Park near downtown Austin, Texas to really get a feel for how to control this thing. Okay, now that we've tested out the drone in a big open field, now I want to test out how well it can maneuver and how well you can control it from this controller. I've got a bunch of trees all behind me, and I'm gonna try and weave in and out. Now, it is pretty windy, so I don't know how well this is actually gonna do, but guess what? We're gonna see. Dude, the wind takes it so easily. It's so hard to control in the wind. So I'm kind of getting the hang of it. Oh no! I'm about to do test number 3, but I just realized that if you press in the direction that you need this drone to go to, it will go even through really strong wind. The only issue is that it is really hard to do that through obstacles. So this may be the type of drone that you only use in an open field. I definitely need to practice with this thing. After a few more tries, I felt like I was actually starting to lock in how to use this drone. I, of course, crashed it a bunch more times too, but it just felt like a little buddy that would just follow me everywhere once I got the hang of it. So I think I'm getting a lot better at flying this thing. I've got 4 trees right behind me, and I'm gonna try and weave in and out of them. I don't know if I can do this yet, but we're gonna see. I'm probably gonna break one of the propellers. That went pretty well until it didn't. This thing hurts when it runs into you. So this would be nice if it had object avoidance, but of course, $100 drone, you can't expect it to have object avoidance. Really, our best hope is that I have stupid avoidance, which I don't. So I was just looking, look right where the drone hit me. It like cut my stomach. Don't be stupid like me. Okay, so this last test is probably really, really stupid, but this is probably the ultimate test on whether or not I've actually figured out how to control this drone. We're gonna take it down to the water. This looks like a good spot. A little bit of trees, but there's a good opening. This is going to be the ultimate test of whether or not I can fly this drone correctly. We're gonna try and fly it over some water. This is probably stupid. Yes, I flew it over water. I can't believe it didn't fall into the water. It started beeping. I think it's running out of battery, which is pretty good because I've been using it for about 2 hours now, which means that the battery life is pretty good. Having said that, let's go back to my office and let's go do the pros and cons of this lightweight Ameta drone. Let's do it. Whoa! All right. Let's get into the review of the Ameta S20 Lite drone because I've got some pros, I got some cons, but I want to start with the cons because I like to get the negative out of the way first. Con number one is how lightweight this drone is. If it's windy at all, this thing is going to get taken away. I also found that even when the wind wasn't very strong, it was still pretty hard to not get choppy video. So just something to keep in mind if you're planning on buying this drone yourself. Con number two is something we should probably already have guessed because it's only a $100 drone, but there is no stabilization, which is why the video is a little bit choppy. This is more of like a beginner drone, as I've said earlier on in the video. And so this isn't going to accompany you to make your next movie or your next super high quality YouTube video. I think it's good for at least scouting. Now, con number three is that it doesn't record sound. So definitely a con if you want to use it for vlogging or whatever, although the sound of the drone probably would get in the way of it anyways, but just something to keep in mind, no sound. Con number four is really just from like a marketing standpoint, but on the box, you'll see it says 4K resolution. I don't know if you can see it on there. It says 4K resolution right there, right under where it says beginner drone. Now, the video is not in 4K, which is what I thought when I first got this. So it's a little bit of a misnomer. So just keep that in mind. What they were talking about is that the photos it takes are 4K resolution, which look kind of like this. All right, now that we're done with the cons, let's move over to the pros, because for a beginner drone, this does have some pretty good pros. So pro number one is something that makes my life so much easier, making videos and just using these drones in general, which I'm sure is gonna make your life easier as well, which is that it's super easy to set up. I showed you earlier in the video how simple it is to set this thing up. So that in itself is a huge pro. Pro number two is that it connects super quickly and every single time. Now that last part is very, very important because I have a lot of electronics around here, whether it's a robot, whether it's a drone, whether it's some other electrical device, that when you're trying to connect it with the app that accompanies it, sometimes they don't really connect every single time. You gotta shut the robot off or you gotta shut the electronic off, and then you gotta restart the app, and it's just a whole thing. I never once experienced an issue with this thing. It always connected immediately, which is a super pro in my book. Pro number three, the battery is pretty good. Now, I've tested out a few different drones on this channel, and the battery in this, I think, is probably the longest lasting that I've tried so far, which is pretty good for, again, a $100 drone. Which leads me into my next huge pro, super obvious, the price. As far as budget drones go, I don't know that it gets any better than a $100 drone that connects as well as this one does and has such a good looking app. I just don't think that you're gonna be able to find a drone this good in that price range. Now, if I'm wrong, please let me know down in the comments, but I think that this is a great price, and so that's gotta be another pro. And along those same lines, the app looks great as well. Sometimes you'll get a very clunky app, so I'm gonna throw that in as a pro as well. Now, on the side of the pros and cons, there's a couple things that I wanted to mention just in case you do get this drone to try out. Number one is that the video quality comes out a lot better if you use a little micro SD card instead of recording onto the device itself. Now, lastly, I should mention this was a little bit hard to control, but every drone is if you don't know how to fly drones. And even if you do, there's always some sort of learning curve with all of these because they come in different weights, they've got different controls. There's just so many factors. So if you end up getting this drone, just take the time to learn them, because honestly, at the very beginning, I thought I was going crazy because I could not get this thing to fly correctly, but it was completely user error. This thing actually flies really, really good if you know how to fly it. Overall though, with pros and cons and everything else considered, this is a pretty good drone, and I want to thank Ameta for sending it over to me. And of course, if you want to pick up your own little beginner budget drone, Ameta S20 Lite, to test out for yourself, I will leave a link down in the description below for you to do so. And with that, guys, that's going to conclude my video. If you guys have any thoughts on this drone, if you own it, if you want to own it, if you had a question, leave it down in the comments below. I will answer as many as I possibly can. I also wrote a sci-fi book if you're interested in that. It's called The Very Strange Universe of Dr. Natalia Azil. I will leave a link to that down in the description below as well if you like sci-fi books. With that being said, I'm going to throw a video right up here of something that YouTube thinks that you're probably going to enjoy if you enjoyed this video. I'm Eric, and this is Eric's Tech World, where tech and adventure meet. Thank you so much for watching this full video. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.